very beginning, you brought this business, this Chinese business, here in the United States, and you created quite an empire. It's unusual to see Chinese business in the United States. What's been your experience?
In the United States, we have had a good experience, obviously. And I don't think we're very unique. It's just a part of the process. When the two countries develop more and more relationship, more American will invest in China, more Chinese company will invest in the United States. We are kind of lucky because we started early, no question at all. And in the last 15 years, we had a lot of opportunity here, especially in the last few years because of the tough environment. It gave us more opportunity. So we just captured the opportunity, we keep growing.
And now you're known as the person who creates jobs. You're an exemplary model of the person who creates jobs from China in the United States.
That is correct.
How many jobs have you created?
I would say total right now we have about 5,000 employees. There's a few different types of situations. One is many companies we bought in the United States are sort of troubled company. Whether they were in the bankruptcy, they were in the liquidation, or the shareholder was closing them down. So on that side, we more or less saved the job. On the other side, we did invest into the new business, like our solar panel plant in Rockford, Illinois. Next time you should come to see that plant as well. So not only we saved the white collar, blue collar, we also created the green collar job as well. So that is what we feel very happy about.
Some would wonder why you would bring the company to America, manufacturing plants, because it's so much cheaper, labor and production in China. So what's your advantage?
It is not about the cheap. It is about the value creation. You can always, as a business, I see, for example, if it costs me $1, I sell for $2, I make $1. But if it costs me $10, I sell $12, I make $2. So it's much better if I can make $2 versus $1. So it's not about the cheap, it's about the value creation. So from our experience, there's no question at all that manufacturing has some fundamental issues to deal with. The major issue is that you have to compete on a global basis. You cannot ignore the global competition. You cannot pretend the time has not changed. It is changed. However, that does not mean you have to close down the plant, because you still have your core competence. You still have your own unique advantage that other people don't have. The matter is that how do you emphasize on that and also look back on the global basis to get advantage from other people by utilizing their resources to make yourself much stronger player in the market. That's the key issue.
How would you characterize the relationship, the business relationship between the United States and China right now?
I was just telling them, I say, between the husband and wife, between the brother and the sister, between the father and the son, as long as we have two people, there are going to be a difference of opinion. So the difference of opinion is not an issue. The issue is how do we learn from each other? Again, in the business is about a compromise, right? So you have to learn from each other. You have to get a benefit from each other. You have to help each other. The issue today is that, I was joking, I say, in a marriage you still have a choice of divorce. Although it might be expensive, but do we have a choice today between US and China to separate the two countries? I don't think so. So if we don't have the luxury to be destructive, let's be positive to be constructive. Let's help the dialogue going. Let's help the communication. Let's help each other to be better by learning from each other.
What's the biggest problem in this relationship as it pertains to you that you face day to day?
Not really much, I mean, the press will talk once and the politician have to talk something else. But when you are really in the business, you just need to stay focused on what you have to do. If you're getting bothered by all the people talking, you will not get nothing done. And I was talking with another Chinese guy, and he told me that if you listen to the public noise, you don't want to invest here. You don't want to come to the United States. But if you meet with all the local government, you meet with the local mayors, the president of the business development department, you don't want to go back to China because they were so nice, they were very cooperative, they wanted you to be here. So both are true and both are right because it's just from different perspective. So I think it's not an issue at all.
Your parts, the parts that you manufacture here, are sold in China primarily, correct?
Primarily in the United States.
Oh.
But we also, more and more today than ever before, we sold more and more parts back into Chinese market because that is the largest auto market in the world today. We cannot ignore that. In fact, Wanxiang's roots in China helped our subsidiary here to sell more product back into the Chinese market.
How is the Chinese market? Are there risks?
Every market has a risk. For example, April, China's auto sales is the first time negative growth rate in the last 27 months. So there's always risks.
Do you see that continuing?
No, I don't think so. Think about this. Back in 2005, China's vehicle sales is about 5.8 million vehicles. 2010, 5 years later, more than 18 million vehicles. So the growth has been very fast. Eventually, it will tape off, be more mature. We can debate on the number. People are talking about 30 million by 2015. People are talking 40 million by 2015. But we know there's going to be growth. We know we cannot miss that market.
What do you see as the biggest risk for Chinese economy, Chinese consumer market, auto demand?
I would say the biggest risk is for us not to be there on time. The biggest risk for us is that we missed the opportunity by not being aggressive enough to invest in that market, to grow in that market, because it's an opportunity cost. If you miss it, it will never come back.
You're expanding in the United States, meanwhile.
Absolutely. And a lot of product, as I say, we're shipping back to China because the technology is here and it makes more sense for us to do a lot of engineering, design, and the prototype, and some manufacturing here as well.
So would you say you're the model for how the United States and Chinese relationship should blossom into the future?
I won't say we're the model because a lot of people can contribute or can represent it from different angle. But truly, we are the beneficiary party. We got a lot of benefit. Back in January, when we got invited into the White House to meet with both presidents, we indicated that we got a lot of benefit from the strong relationship between USA and China. So in return, we need to contribute back to the relationship. There are many different ways we can contribute, and we should and we will do that as well.
And finally, Mr. Chen of Sybase just told us that in terms of openness, doing business between the United States and China, 1 through 10, he gave it a 2.
In terms of China open to the United States?
Both. Joint relationship.
At least from my experience in the United States, we haven't really seen any difficulties here at all. Maybe it's an industry-related issue. Maybe it's sometimes it's a perception as well. But we haven't got any difficulties at all. We were welcomed. We had a good relationship with our local business partner. We have extremely good relationship with unions as well. and the union are very supportive. And they want to work with us. They want us to invest more. So I would say, we haven't seen this problem at all. Same thing in China. Obviously, we're a Chinese company as well. So when we take the product back to China, the only negative is that they say, why you come so late? Where you have been? So that's the only thing we heard as of saying, hey, come on, you got to go.
So are you moving faster to penetrate the market?
Not as fast as our customer would expect us to do. So we have a lot of work to do.